This book excerpt is from Betrayer, the Horus Heresy. Because we can never have enough Horus Heresy, I think. Let's begin. I am not your lackey to judge. You have no authority over me, over any of us. Angron stared as the cybernetic dreadlocks attaching the nails to his head began to tense. Russ smiles. Yet here I am. Angron wiped a hand across his mouth, as if the simple gesture could make the pain go away. To do what? To start a war that will leave both our legions in ruins? Leave. Leave before this becomes something you regret. Russ spoke again, pale eyes unwavering. The surgery must end, Angron. The Emperor himself wills that it be so. The massacre ends here as well. Look what you have done to this world. Cleansed it. Butchered it. Revered it. Yekna is scarred of all life. Is this a deed you want listed beneath your name when statues rise to celebrate the Great Crusade? Angron cared nothing for statues, and said so plainly. Russ shook his head. You cannot sail the stars in this frenzy purely because you are too damaged to learn the art of war. The implant surgery must be reversed. Your sons will submit to mine. Then we will return to Terra. Once we reach the palace, everything will be done to remove these parasitic engines from your sons' minds. Despite the twitches, Angron's eyes were wide in genuine surprise. You think you have any authority over me? You think you can threaten me and expect to walk away? I think there is a good chance of it, aye. Angron grinned, though it was an anguished thing. And if you die? Lorgar wrote something several years ago that has nourished my thoughts each day and night since he shared it with me. Angron snorted to show just what he thought of Pius Scrivener's brother's musings. But Russ was unfazed. It is not enough that corruption is recognized. It must be opposed. It is not enough that ignorance is acknowledged. It must be defied. Win or loss, what matters is making a stand for the virtues that we will bequeath to the human race. When this galaxy is finally ours, we will hold a worthless prize if we plant the last Aquila on the last day, on the last world, having led humanity into moral darkness. Angron listened, but cared little. Even then, he was a stubborn creature, taking spiteful pride in his own insolence. Lorgar wages war with a quill, but the galaxy will not be brought to heel by crude philosophy. Your ideals are meaningless. Ideals are what we are fighting for, brother. There was something colder in Russ's tone then. A decision had been made, frosting his voice. Angron had laughed, the sound rich and true. Such pretty lies. We fought for the same reasons men have always fought. For land and for wealth and for bodies to feed into the grinders of industry. We fight to silence anyone who might draw breath and whisper options different than ours. We fight because the Emperor wants every world in his hands. Because all we know is slavery painted in the inoffensive notion of compliance. The very notion of freedom is horror to him. Traitor, Russ hissed. Angron stood tall, still grinning. Do we give choice to those we slaughter? A true choice? Or do we broadcast that they must throw their weapons into the fires of peace and bow down, face pushed into the mud like beggars, thanking us for the culture we force upon them? We offer them compliance or death. How am I a traitor, wolfling? I fight as you fight. I'm as loyal as you are. I do the tyrant's bidding. We offer them freedom. Russ spoke through clenched teeth. You are mutilating your own sons and poisoning their minds. Are you lost so far in your delusions? Angron's smile faltered. His face seemed slack, his eyes staring past Russ. The feet was still etched on his features, twitching in pain. You are free, Leman Russ of Fenris, because your freedom matches the Emperor's will. For each war I am asked to wage against worlds that threaten the Imperium's advance, there comes another time I am told to conquer peaceful worlds that wish only to be left alone. I am told to destroy entire civilizations and call it liberation. I am told to demand millions of men and women from these worlds to take up arms in his hordes, and I am told to call this a tithe or recruitment, because we are too scared to call the truth slavery. Angron, be silent. You have given your threats, dog. Now hear me. Listen to another hound barking for once. Then speak. Russ said, I am loyal same as you. I am told to bathe my legion in the blood of innocents and sinners alike. I do it because it is all there is left for me in this life. I do these things, and I enjoy them. Not because they are moral or right, or because we are just souls seeking enlightenment in a dark universe, Angron said mockingly, but because all I feel is the butcher's nails hammering into my brain. I serve because of this mutation. Without it, perhaps I might be more moral man, like you claim to be. A virtuous man, eh? Perhaps one day I might ascend the steps of our father's palace and take the slaving bastard's head. Both legions tensed. Thousands and thousands of warriors clutched bolt weapons and chain blades closer. It is a pretty good one, and I like it. Many of you know how this ends, and there is no way to, glance over it. But this thing leading to that battle, it's amazing. And to be honest, just to show my narcissistic side, I really enjoyed my performance in this one. Still, Betrayer is a good book. Again, as always, recommend reading it. And to be honest, it really shows Angron's conviction in the end. How he stood by his principles and what he taught, despite doing what the Emperor wanted. Confronted with Russ, who was a little bit soul-searching for a bit there. But nevertheless, I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one.